Families in multicultural perspective. We know that within any society there are cultures and there are subcultures. And some societies have a multicultural culture. Family and parenting practices, as well as the lifestyle of dual earning families, may vary across cultures and subcultures. The subcultures may have their own norms and values. So when we see multicultural societies, we see that people who belong to different cultural backgrounds may practice their parenting practices in a different manner. Employment, unemployment or underemployment, and family earnings make a difference. So whether the family members are working or not working, they are employed or unemployed, and they are earning good or they are earning bad, that makes a difference to their parenting practices also. So in some societies and some cultures, the question of children being involved is also important. How are the children going to be a part of this process? Because in some cultures, children also take part in the responsibility of earning with the families. A large number of African American children may have been living in female-headed families, because there are so many families where men do not work and it's the woman or the mother who is working. In such families, mother has the decision-making power and children look up to the mother for decisions in the family. On the other hand, we see that in the developed countries, the white married couples from middle class are more likely to have egalitarian attitudes and views in their life. They have such perspective and such views according to which the husband and the wife have equal rights and they have equal earnings and they support each other. Employment status brings decision-making authority. So whether it's the husband or it is the wife who is earning, majorly earning, will decide who has the decision-making authority in the family. We see that in some traditional cultures and societies, even when the husband is not earning, he has the decision-making authority. But in developed world, the person who is earning usually has the authority to take decisions for the family. In a multicultural society, the number of generations who have lived in that culture also matters. So, if somebody goes to Europe or America, his status and his lifestyle would be affected by the number of generations in his family who had spent time in that culture. So, if it is the second generation or the third generation, the person's status or earning may be different. But if it is the first generation, the person may be having a hard time. There are multiple risks of race, class, and gender involved in this. We see that African Americans have lower or lowest wages. They are likely to bear double burden due to minority group status also. Therefore, their problems may be doubled. Poverty, it is seen, is high in underprivileged groups. So, in any country, whether it is in Asia or in Europe or anywhere else, Africa, we see that wherever people are underprivileged, the poverty level would be high, and that would affect the family relations also. It is seen that different cultural practices and family norms are practiced in our culture also. The subcultures that we have, people belonging to different regions who have settled into another region, they may have their own traditional cultural values and lifestyles. Then we are one of the nations who have a very big number, a large number of refugees. So they brought their own culture to Pakistan, from Afghanistan, for example. And they adjusted in this society. They practiced the way other Pakistanis were behaving. But at the same time, they brought their own culture with them also. Therefore, we see that people, they have their own culture, they have their own identity, they have their own cultural background, and that affects the way they organize things in their family. But we see that in our culture, A religious belief system also affects our practices and lifestyles a lot. And this applies to care, upbringing, and whether or not we are earning members of a family also.